highlights of December month current affairs in the category of reports and indices. The topic for the discussion goes about Emission Gap Report 2020. Topic chosen for the discussion would be our Emission Gap Report 2020. As we have completed the other two topics in the other videos, please have a look at that video such that you get a complete information on the reports with respect to the climate change and the energy efficiency. So while you get to know about the energy efficiency and climate change report, it helps us to know what it is in the emission gap report is also telling us, such that that knowledge of that videos will help us to understand the elements of emission gap reports and summarize with respect to the climate reports in the month of December. So this is a holistic approach to know all the reports and indices with respect to environment, such that this data could be used in your mains answer rating with respect to environment, and you can know the details for the prelims as well. And any time for any statistical data, you can use this reports and give a beautiful answer with the topics of climate change or any environmental issues. So we will see what is Emission Gap Report 2020 tells us. So Emission Gap Report 2020 is a report given by United Nations Environment Program, UNEP. UNEP Emissions Gap Reports 2020 has been published. So that is why it makes a news with respect to the emission gaps. Then, what are the key findings from this report? The first finding goes that records high in GHGs. So what is this GHGs? As you can see this picture here, greenhouse gases, GHGs. So whenever you see this abbreviated term GHGs, it specifies us about greenhouse gas emissions. So the record high in greenhouse gas emissions, global GHG emissions continued to grow for the third consecutive years in 2016. So the increase in the emission of GHGs has continued, then reaching the record high of 52.4 gigaton carbon equivalent. So we call this GTCO2e, carbon equivalent, without including land use changes. So land use changes are not taken care with while making this data with respect to the GHG emissions. So what is this GHG? Greenhouse gas, we talk about greenhouse gas, and greenhouse gas consists of all these gases: CO2, CH4, hydrofluorocarbons, N2O, PFCs, perfluorocarbons, and sulfur hexafluoride. So all these elements comprises of greenhouse emissions. So this was a question in 2019. What are the greenhouse gases? Apart from this, we have another important greenhouse gas, that is water vapor. So by knowing that water vapor is included in greenhouse gases, we could have answered that question in 2019. So have a knowledge of what is greenhouse gas and what are the uses. CO2 is used in the transportation, methane is used for the agriculture, natural gas systems, N2O manufacturing, CH2 electrical transmission. So that is how greenhouse gases helps us, and the emission of these gases will also cause environmental pollution. So reducing this GHGs is important for us with respect to climate agreement goals also. So then, record high carbon emission. Fossil carbon dioxide, CO2 emissions from fossil fuels and carbonates dominate total GHG emissions, and consequently the growth in the GHG emissions. So carbon, the releases from the fossil fuels becomes the major part of GHG emission, is what second point of the report telling us about. So the usage of fossil fuels, the exhaustion of the fossil fuels becomes a major element of second findings, that is of the GHG emissions. Then the third, it is talking about a very crucial incident of forest fire is increasing. As you know, we saw a very huge forest fire in the Australian bushfire. Even in the Bandipur National Parks, we saw a forest fire. The increase of this forest fire is posing a threat to environment. And since 2010, global GHG emissions has grown 1.4% on an average per year. So 1.4% increase in the forest fire lead us to the excess of GHG emissions. So with a more rapid increase of 2.6% in 2019 due to a large increase in the vegetative forest fire. So the report is posing an alarm for the decrease of forest fire. So the measures for decreasing the forest fire could be making the fire lines, putting the avoiding the human interventions in the forest. So there are many measures taken with respect to the forest fires. Forest fires should be declined and GHG emission will also gradually decrease. Then, so water vapor is included in the greenhouse gases. So this mainly talks about the greenhouse emissions. Then, it is published by UNEP, United Nations Environment Program. The purposes is that to measure the gap between anticipated emission, the specified emission and the levels consistent with Paris Agreement goals of limiting global warming this century to below 2 degrees and pursuing to 1.5 degree. They are striving to go down to 1.5 degrees Celsius such that the limiting global warming would comprises of all this GHG emission. So we are striving to become this 1.5 degrees Celsius, and UNFCCC, the climate goals also suggest to cut down our global gaps to 1.5 degrees Celsius. Then, what is this emission gap? As you see in the report, we see a emission gap. Gap in the sense the difference between, it mainly tells that it measures the gap between what we need to do and what we are actually doing to tackle the climate change. This is the gap which we are talking here. It is that what we need to do and then what we actually doing to take the climate change. That gap is what they are monitoring here, and also called, it is a commitment gap. It is also called as a commitment gap. It is the difference between low levels of emissions and that the world needs to drop to. That is, we are talking about the 1.0 degrees Celsius of temperature. Then compared with the projected levels of emission based on countries' current commitments to decarbonization. Mainly we are talking about the decarbonization. So decarbonization with respect to other countries and the projected levels of emissions are compared and a gap report is given for us. So this was about emission gap. What we are actually doing and what are the measures taken to do it and what were the previous outcomes. So this gap is measured here. Then we'll see what is UNEP. As we come across such kind of organization, going deeper into that and knowing the organizational setup becomes an important measure for UPSC prelims, because sometimes organization and its functions were also given in the UPSC. Previously we have come across BRICS, BRI and many organizations, and they go and actually they go into deeper things. They ask the reports. So we will see with respect to that only, we will see what is UNEP. UNEP is a leading global environmental authority established on 5th June 1972. It's a global environmental authority. What is World Bank Financial Authority? So have the difference between like that. So UNEP, United Nations Environment Programs, leading a global environmental authority. It was established in June 1972. The function is that it sets the global environmental agenda, promotes the sustainable development within the United Nations systems, and serves as a authoritative advocate for global environmental protection. So it's authoritative, and the words and the reports given by them becomes important for every country and follow the findings from them. Then the major reports with respect to UNEP are, other reports are also given by that. Emission gap report, as we see now, the global environmental outlook. The global environmental outlook. We have recognized that the terms such as global economic perspective, such reports were were coming repeatedly in prelims. So knowing about them, global environmental outlooks is given by UNEP becomes important for us. Then frontiers, invest into healthy planet, are the other reports given by UNEP. Then what are the major campaigns taken up by UNEP? Beat pollution, UN 75, World Environment Day, Wild for Life, and the headquarters is in Nairobi, Kenya. So this was the important. Beat pollution was a very successful campaign with respect to UNEP, and it was able to cut down some of the plastic pollution, and we were able to perform the goals of UNEP. So this was about emission gap report, and here we have a pictorial representation of how the gap is measured. See, the current policy trajectory was 3.5 degrees Celsius. The current commitment was 2 degrees Celsius. So we are striving for the 1.5 degrees Celsius temperature. See, the annual global greenhouse emission GTCOC in this side, and then the year-long emissions until 2030 we are aiming at 1.5 degrees Celsius. The annual global greenhouse emission should reduce to 1.5 degrees Celsius is what even the Paris Agreement goals and the UNFC is trying to attain it. So this was about a complete discussion about what is emission gap report 2020 telling us. The main key highlights of this is GHG should be reduced, and India is performing well in that, but the renewable energy, if as we see in CCPI, the renewable energy matters a lot for us. When the renewable energy increases, the usage of fossil fuels will also decrease, such that GHG will also get reduced to 1.5 degrees Celsius. So this was a complete discussion on emission gap report, and for any such kind of interesting current affairs videos, you can subscribe to our channel YouTube, Believers IAS Academy. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and you can join our Telegram channels for the daily updates, daily current affairs videos, current affairs quiz, and you can log on to our website believersis.com and take up the daily mains answer writing and have a complete information about UPSC examination and its trends. So thank you, welcome.